team that he definitely has the potential to take over games. So seeing him get off to a good start is a great sign. Again, this is that CT smoke deployed onto Banana, but Pleasant doesn't give a damn about the smoke. Just spammed Emor straight through.
Lovely little shot through the smoke itself. Needs to be careful he doesn't get caught by some utility, but that's going to go a little too deep to deal with Pleasant. Who does damage onto X-Floud. Brook's starting to put pressure on towards long side of A, and Calyx is about to swing into the fight. This time will not be getting a multi-kill. In fact, gets removed quickly. As Xantara is his first kill of the map so far, and he's going to upgrade to the AK-47. He'll start to look for a few more frags on the way out of this round, but Eternal Fire certainly still with a disadvantage. At least Xantara is making the right call for the rotation back to the B site.
X-Floud tried to block the smoke, but didn't do enough to create a gap. It's Xantares instead who fights ahead of the utility, and now he's seen B is fairly clear. He's going to rotate back to A, but it's Woxic in pit who has to hold.
Yeah, Woxic with a little underhanded flash out of pit, really trying to make this position work, but he ends up just getting overrun. Bullet right between the eyes. Woxic doesn't get a single pick, and that has not slowed down the attack. And for that, Eternal Fire have to save call. They have to retreat. It is Savage going to 4 rounds. Great decision-making in the mid-round here from Savage, and a great commitment to it. There was no second-guessing themselves or second-guessing the call. And speaking of the caller, Hawker, we found out that it's Twist obviously at the helm for this team. A lot of people were speculating potentially Pleasant, but it is Twist with the experience who's decided to take the mantle of IGLing for the Savage side.
Yeah, and it's good to have that bit of experience in the team, some top-tier experience to be able to take that role. We're seeing that in a few more teams now. You look at Taco over at Godsent, another example of a player who has shifted his role now from the more supportive role over to the IGL. Pretty similar to what Twist was doing towards the end of his time in some of those top teams. He was playing those more supportive roles. Now he's willing to take on the leadership for the new generation.
Yeah, no longer on the AWP, Hawker.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Was always touted as that AWPer who maybe could make the difference in Sweden, but just never really worked out timing-wise for him to get on one of those real championship contenders for a long period of time. Never really felt like he got the career he maybe could have. But he's looking to remake his career here with some of the rising stars in the region. Oh, this is an annoying angle from X-Floud. Boosted up top. Certainly a position that is unlikely to be cleared initially.
Yeah, this is going to be very unpredictable, but it also comes with a risk because both of these players are now in the same position. If they get overrun, it could be a bit of a nightmare, and X-Floud will dodge the flashbang. And they know there was a boost. They know both players are there, and oh, they haven't got a single kill out of it. Emor is playing with a 5-7. In these kind of rounds, you can take a bit of a risk, but you really wanted that first kill. And now Emor didn't pick up the rifle on the way out, just the 5-7 transitioning to the back of the site. Thought Pleasant was about to spot him, but decides to come off the angle. Xantara is trying to help out with a B-hold as Woxic gets aggressive in towards the apartments. He might just find himself one. He's not going into the bedroom instead. Oh, look at that timing. They do cross wires completely, and Woxic is not going to get the information that they are, in fact, rotating entirely back to the A site. Calyx is going to be in position, at least on the side itself with the Deagle, and then Woxic can come into play in the later part of the round. But they really need Xantares in this AK to get it going. It's a Deagle shot from Calyx as well. He's got away with a double, and that flank from Woxic starts to come through, and it has delivered one. Looking for the second inside of the site is Chauzy on the AWP, has to win the 1v2 up against Emor and Woxic. It's such a tight angle to be fighting on two fronts, and Emor will swing with the M4A1S, a round for Eternal Fire that puts them up to 2.
Calyx doing so much work from the site with that Deagle, just surviving long enough to allow that flank from Woxic. That 5-7 finally comes back into play. Even after you initially think the timing is going to go against him, it actually works out for the long flank in through the apartments. Savage weren't able to predict that position, and the AWP at the end stuck on the site between two players had a very hard time in the clutch. Emor able to take that final frag, and Savage's money is put back into a poor position. They've only got 2 AKs in this round, and so they're going to try and go for the quick pace, but Xantares ready on the hold, already getting 2 kills early.
Yeah, swipes up the first two players in from mid, but they continue their attack here, Savage. They're trying to put pressure onto Woxic, and it is going to work. Turkish Sniper hangs around a little too long and ends up getting removed because of it. Emor has rotated over. Extra players available now to Eternal Fire on this A-hold.
You see Savage just desperately wanting one more kill. Then they'll probably feel like they could commit.
Could come from Dezen. Emor's got the right read. He's going to be looking back towards Archway, and Dezen's holding for the ankle. Little shoulder peek for info from Emor, and he will lose the fight. So that's the kill from Savage that's opened up CT spawn entirely, and now they can split on the only remaining player for the defense. xFloud has to go huge. He cannot afford to go down without a single kill. He can buy time for the rotation to start coming through. If he can take a kill, that would be massive from xFloud. He goes around the corner. One is his. Nearly gets away with a second, but does go down quite quickly. So Eternal Fire coming back up Banana with Calix and Zantares looking for their way back into the site. So much damage was done on towards Grux at the back of the site. He's currently 3 HP, but it doesn't matter with a headshot of Zantares. It's all on Chauzy. This time, it is a winnable 1 versus 2. He's found the first on Calix. Zantares has tapped the bomb, trying to pull the fight, and Chauzy will bring the fight to Zantares, and he'll win it for 5.
Good clutch from Chauzy. Knew he had to go towards the bomb, but he took his time in doing so because he figured if Zantares had faked, he would probably be swung out to the right side. So he figured he needed to clear that angle just in case. And it was a good decision from Chauzy, aware of the possibility of the fake defuse. And Savage are making some really solid mid-round calls here on Inferno. And when I watched Eternal Fire in their loss against Ecstatic recently, I think a lot of what Ecstatic were doing successfully is some of these mid-round plays where they were just able to outposition Eternal Fire. Sometimes those rotates weren't fully able to happen. If you just get the one crucial kill on the map, it can open things up. And Emor dying in towards CT is what opened up that ability for the B-sided split. Really good awareness on Savage's part to make that play happen. And if they can continue to do that, they could be on for a really solid T-half hit. Got the double up setup out for Eternal Fire, even though a couple of players are stuck on pistols. Oh, and it's already worked. Emor's got that early kill onto Pleasant.
Yeah, that's going to be a opportunity at least for Eternal Fire, but they really have to find the follow-up, and Emor might just be able to do it. He's holding this tight angle. Are Savage going to do anything to get him off of it? Trying to shoulder bait the shot out, and he will not miss. Emor brings the kill forward, dives back into the site, sends the pistol forward to try and create a body block between him and the rotation coming back in from his teammate. It's not going to work out for Emor. Woxic held it in behind the smoke at Coffins as well. And a re-smoke goes down. Woxic held in behind it. The Savage luckily do have time to get back to the site if they sprint it, but it is going to be quite limited, and there is an opportunity now to try and create that pressure. The bomb will start to get planted now. Woxic had a rifle, could have been a nightmare. He tries to go through and deny the bomb plant, but just couldn't quite get through the smoke. And now Twist starts to strike with his AWP, finally brought down by a beautiful shot out of Calix's Deagle. But there's still 2 more plays to collect here for Calix, and he's starting to turn it into 1v1s. It's now just Chauzy yet again. Oh, and Calix swings! Another massive round from Calix, and that's going to get Eternal Fire the 3rd round. Calix has been an absolute animal so far, Hulka, just getting these multi-kills.
Calix is clearly feeling it here in this best of 3 to kick things off. Winning another round for Eternal Fire. He's been their main man so far, but Savage will be disappointed in how that post-plant played out. That first shot from Calix is just a brilliant kill with the Deeg. You can't do much against that. But then he's able to turn it into a couple more 1v1s, and his time to kill was so quick that Savage weren't able to do anything about it. It's pistols now for the Savage side into round 9. I think Eternal Fire are somewhat aware of that. They've got an MP5 out for xFloud. I'm seeing a few more people buy the MP5, Dinko. I don't know how I feel about it. Oh, God.
Woo! Well, probably just as bad as Zantares right there. A little headache. I don't think Aspen's going to solve that one.
Oh, wow, and Chawsy's in spawn. This is such a good position to be in.
Oh, yeah. He's going to chew them up. Easy picks here, surely. And for when that Soul goes back into the crosshair of Imor,
now they know that B's clear. They know that Imor's normally the B player.
Yeah. He's got one flash to try and deal with this as well. Imor does not have the utility available to try and slow this one down. Savage about to topple at the rifle at least, who's come in with a huge double. Snappy little headshot up towards the top of the coffin. And now does in a twist. Oh, what a shot out of twist. We're seeing some flying D shots today. And another one. Dezen brings down Imor, and it's all on Calyx once again. They have to ask him to clutch. This man, surely not again. The FAMAS begins its way from CT spawn to ruins. Twist now confirms the position of Calyx, who is desperately looking to clear positions and limit the positions that T's can be playing from. But this time will start to tick. He peeks into the rifles, and it's going to be the Deagles wishing the shots past his head. No damage done yet for either of the remaining players. It is just one flash here for Calyx, and he hasn't taken any of the chances for the kills. Discipline in the post plan here from Savage has won them the round. Calyx has no time, and now he's got no head. 6 rounds as suddenly the Deagles will win a round for Savage.
Obviously a couple of brilliant shots in there, but you also have to give a lot of credit to Twist, who was just sitting and waiting for that CT rotation. That's where that experience comes in, where he can just keep his composure and realize that you don't have to force the kills in that scenario, because the CTs will almost certainly rotate towards the site and give you an opportunity at some point. And he just sits there holding the line, knew he had to hit the shot. He did exactly that. And then Dezen also helping out with an impressive kill on towards that B side of the map to win them the round. And that is a huge swing in the economy game, Dinko. This is a full investment from Eternal Fire, and it sucks. No other way of putting it. They've got one rifle at least, but that's because xCloud has had to spend all his money on it and dropped it over to Imor.
Yeah, it is certainly an unfortunate economic situation here for Eternal Fire. That's what CT side can turn into when you have these inconsistent rounds where you're losing the Deagles. It's going to break you apart. And this is perfect for Savage to really start getting going on this T side and squeeze as many rounds out as possible. If they win this round, they can just surely walk over the next full eco. We're looking at 8 rounds for Savage if they pick this one up. Eternal Fire really have to hope for a miracle of their own here. And we can't put that against them. We know these guys can frag.
It's another rotate too. Emor's just arriving.
Oh, little swing out from Zentaris. Doesn't work out for the first kill. But Imor, that rotation you talked about, Holka, not only has he arrived, but he's got an M4. He's got the only rifle in play. And it's only going to work out for one.
And they may have needed more out of that. Flashes to the site. Calyx stuck in a smoke. It's Woxic alone on the bomb site itself. Oh, he gets a second kill while blind, but surely he's done for. He finally gets run down. There's still a chance for xCloud here, though.
He's got the rifle he picked up off of Moore's corpse, and so he's starting to wrap around from short. No kit on his back, no Kevlar either, nor any utility to be seen, and now they know exactly where he is. They can double up and try and eliminate him. He's looking for the pick. He's waiting for the mistake, but Savage have been so disciplined in these positions. xCloud is down to 3 HP, and he knows the positions, but he just can't force them out of them. 7 rounds now for a stubborn old Savage.
I know that Chawsy knew where he was, but still, just to hit him with that shot through the edge of the box, dinking him. Oh, it's brutal. Just kind of took a few pot shots through the edge of the box. I love that we got to see that from xCloud's perspective, because it shows just how quickly you can be almost eliminated at this level. And Eternal Fire have basically nothing to work with. They spent $200 on a Zeus. That is it. So Savage should be on for an 8-3 lead. And honestly, Dinko, I'm really impressed by not just the calling, because that's something I was kind of expecting from Savage, but the individual level has been really high from them here.
Oh, well, but yeah, it's been very high from Savage, and you know that Sweden have all of these players available. That's the crazy thing, you know. You will always have a Swedish team in one of these qualifiers. It just seems to be an infinite amount of talent coming out. But the thing about this team is, and I would love to see them do well, because they've had little chances at the top, in a few of them at least. Pleasant and Twist, Grux, believe played for North for a while, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Had a little stint maybe there for a bit. So, you've had these guys who have had opportunities within organizations, just never really found their spot to stay there. And growing back into the scene like this, I don't think there's anything harder right now than finding your way out of the tier 2 scene and trying to break out to the top, because there's so many good teams at this level now.
You are right, Dinko. I'm impressed that you've managed to remember Brooks on North, because I think he was on the roster for like a few weeks.
Yeah, I just remember, but I don't forget a North player, that's for sure, because poor guys.
Actually,
a lot.
Yeah, I want to go check how many games he played for North now. Let's see, can I find it? Did he even... Wait a minute, I can't even find him having played a game for North. But he was definitely signed. Huh. I don't know if I'm just bugging or what, but...
Surely you play one.
You'd have thought so, but I can't find any.
That's wild. Maybe he's like, yeah, Grux is going to be our new player on North, and then... We're going to shut down operations in North the next day. Now, that would suck.
They wouldn't have been going by a different name at the time, would they? They've always been North, haven't they?
South. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll never know unless someone in Twitch
Hyenas,
chat tells
right?
me.
They used to be called Hyenas like after, didn't they?
No, I can't find Hyenas either. So maybe he just didn't play for them. That would be weird, though. Who knows?
But he was somewhere along the line involved with North.
No,
so.
yeah, it says it says he was picked up by them at one point.
All right, interesting. I don't know why that's in my memory bank.
Okay, yeah, so they signed him in January 19th, and then on February 5th, apparently they ceased their operations and closed their CSGO division. So, like, 2 weeks after he got signed. That seems a bit harsh.
Well done, Grux. You finally brought down the disaster of North. Single-handedly.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
That sucks. I'm glad, I'm glad he's back on the team here, then.
That's what I'm talking about. These guys get, like, little stints in teams, and then they just get shafted back down to tier 2. To be fair, I don't know what tier North we're in, but maybe one of their own. But
they're in their own special tier.
North. North indeed.
I'll never
I did love the Viking funeral. I wonder if they give Grux one of those Viking videos.
Oh, pleasant. Nice pick on Banana. This is something that Eternal Fire do have to watch out for. We talk about Emor loving to go aggressive on Banana, but sometimes if you're going to lose those fights, it is going to be pretty costly. Because now Savage can play that style where with the man advantage, you can just kind of push and pull between the bomb sites and make it really hard for the CTs to read you. Especially when you go a man down on CT side, it can be hard to stack the right site. But it looks like Eternal Fire might have the right idea right now, as they have 3 players towards A.
Oh, the long play starts to come in. Woxic through the smoke, takes Pleasant down. Grux able to reply. Now 4 versus 3 with an advantage in the side of Savage. They look like they want to just crunch on Calyx, left in the pit on his own. They're coming in from 2 sides as Twist starts to creep over the top of him. Calyx got the right read, but just couldn't get the crosshair in the right place. It's all on xFloud with not much of a chance apart from a save call right here, and Savage up to 9 rounds. Fantastic performance really out of Savage right now. They're really making Eternal Fire struggle individually, which is just something we did not see from them earlier today. They were just fragging on all cylinders. The Savage are obliterating them and just breaking up this defense quite easily. And obviously a big part of that is Eternal Fire never really have good money. They never have all the utility you want, all the kits. They don't really have the ops. It's a little rough for them right now.
Yeah, I do feel as though Eternal Fire are a team who also kind of like having those early round wins and just that bit of confidence behind them in a weird way. it's hard to know exactly for some teams whether that is just them, having a good day individually, or whether just getting off to that good start does make a big difference. But I feel like for Eternal Fire, when they win that pistol in the early gun round, they seem to just play with that confidence where they just kind of don't care anymore and they'll take fights comfortably all the time. But put on the back foot early in this one, pressure maybe starts to get applied. See if they can do anything in this round. Brooks holding for the apartment's aggression, which could be coming through. Eternal Fire also might just try and play close range, and there we go. Xantares in the headshot.
And Chelsea starting to move forward. AWP trying to go the site and to win the rifles to feel fully comfortable about it, but Savage put the bomb down. In just a moment, as Eternal Fire begin to put rifles near the site, this is certainly a winnable retake with a man advantage and the better weaponry in terms of the AKs picked up. Certainly a good chance for Eternal Fire to get back in, especially if they catch a timing like that. Twist, not with his gun out, Plessin realizes he's got to pick up the mistake, and this time will start to take on. Eternal Fire do not have a kit in play. They don't have utility to force them out of position. They've just got to run into the fights and hope they can win them. And Plessin, he does well with one headshot, but they are cleared out in the end. Xantares and Woxic coming in with the picks. Woxic gets onto the defuse, and even without the kit, it's comfortable enough to secure a 4th round for Eternal Fire.
Xantares springing to life with a triple kill in that round. And that is exactly what Eternal Fire will have been looking for. One of their individuals, most importantly, their main man, to step up for them in one of these rounds. And now they can afford that double AWP setup, which is definitely a benefit for them. I think if Emor wants to play aggressively on Banana alone and take fights alone on Banana, having that AWP is a much better bet. Just looking for that one pick and backing away. See if that's what he goes for here, as Eternal Fire yet again have 3 players towards Banana early. Emor looking for that early chance, but the molly forces him away.
Ooh, I could swing up top Banana. Plessin clears it out. They've confirmed control of top Banana for the meantime, and now they go mid. And little solo play there from Grux. It's an easy kill for Xantares, and Twist walks right into the AWP of Emor. 2 very easy kills given away to Eternal Fire at the start of this round, Hawker. Yeah. You don't want to be giving those away.
Maybe slightly too loose. I think Savage have been doing a good job at using their utility to gain map control previously, and then getting into these advanced positions that were less expected because they'd already taken some map control or got an early kill. In this one, there wasn't much for Eternal Fire to think about. The fights just came to them. They'll take those all day long. Now we'll see if Savage can successfully execute onto this B side of the map. They do at least still have a couple of smokes. They have enough utility to go for this play. And the setup is pretty passive. These mollies could actually make a big difference here. It's going to force them out. Both of them.
Oh,
they got 2 smokes back.
Oh, yeah. There's Emor taking down shots. He's second kill in for Emor. He goes back for a 3rd and a little too greedy. Going back to the cookie jar again as Plessin starts to snap back into reality. 15 seconds. He's got AWP. He'll look back down Banana. Oh, and once again, Gravity catches him. 9-5. It is Calyx securing that final kill. And the last round of the first half might just be 6 rounds for Eternal Fire, which would not be a disaster by any means at all. A Savage would love to push it to 10.
Wow, pretty decent half so far, I think Savage will say, but Eternal Fire are just slowly clawing their way back in and keeping themselves in the game. And that is always something you have to be concerned about with this team. Once their players start to hit form, they can definitely go on a hot streak. Oh, Emor didn't spot Chauzy there. Both AWPers scoped in on the angle, but it's Chauzy who reacts first. Emor getting picked on Banana in yet another round. That could be exactly what Savage were looking for to try and get double digits at the half.
And Savage just slowing it down now. They don't want to give it away. Taking their time as we still have over a minute left on this clock. The bomb will start to come back up through Banana. Twist is further ahead, around the corner. His teammates will start to join in Banana as well. 52 seconds now as Eternal Fire have a second player now arriving to the B site. And that second player just so happens to be Xantares. Ned is going to go in, not reaching any of the T side of the opponents. xCloud also has an incendiary available, and he should start to use that right about now with the utility coming in from the T's. He's just waiting for the steps to come in, and here comes the flashes. And so there goes the incendiary. I think it's a little too late, though. It's not going to stop them. In fact, it separates off the two packs of players, and Xantares is going to take down the first wave of attack. There's another wave coming now, and xCloud and Xantares together look to try and bring it down, but Twist and Chaucy find their way into the B site, and they know Calyx is top mid. They can plant the bomb with plenty of time to spare at 9 seconds, and now Calyx has to make the retake. The 1 versus 3. It's had a couple of huge clutches in this first half already, and immediately in with the first headshot. They've doubled up in Banana. He has an incendiary, but no smoke to play with here, Hawka. Oh, what's his chances looking like?
Oh, the timing may be going too far at this point. He's got so many positions to clear. He's just got to predict at this point.
He's going to molly out. Dark, no one's that. They've doubled up in Banana, and that's going to be an easy headshot for Grux. Calyx down 10-5 half for the Savage side. Fantastic performance in the first half of Inferno. We're coming back for the second after this break.
Like standing in the sun, you really feel the heat. I break a sweat just like every time we meet. That girl is blazing hot, she's burning up the spot. She's tearing up the floor, I'm loving what she got, girl.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Challenger Anaheim EU closed qualifiers. It's Savage versus Eternal Fire as we hop into the second half of map number 1. This is the map pick of Savage, and you can see how comfortable they looked on the T side, Holka. I think we're both in agreement that we're incredibly impressed by the performance displayed by Savage in that first half.
Absolutely. The individual performance really high across the board. You can see pretty much everyone doing fairly well on the fragment count, and just the overall calls in a lot of those mid-round scenarios were impressive. Maybe a couple of rounds where they got slightly too loose, but you can't complain about that when a team is up so heavily. They've got a 10-5 lead. Now they've just got to make sure they can close it out. But you can never count this Eternal Fire team out. We've seen them hit hot streaks earlier on in the day. Let's see if they can do the same again. We did see Xantares start to come to life towards the end of the half too. Started having a couple of impactful rounds. That's always a key win condition for Eternal Fire.
When you look at his score, you see 12-12, leading the way in kills on his team, apart from Calyx, who obviously had massive clutches before that. Xantares was 0 kills for the first 4 or 5 rounds. It's a very slow start for Xantares, so the fact that he's been able to recover the 12-12 and go even in that first half is impressive, and certainly a positive sign going into the second half, because he is just integral to any success Eternal Fire are going to have. Nearly dropping 30 kills. I think he finished on 28 kills on the Inferno in the first best of 3. So certainly integral to the success of Eternal Fire. Woxic is the player I would like to see a little bit more of. He is calling, and it's very difficult, I think, to AWP and call at the same time. There's been very few players that have been able to do that successfully over the years, so I will expect his individual performance to drop a little bit, but you always want to see a Woxic showing here in Inferno. Like, this is a map where a lot of his highlight reel comes from. You know, he's even capable of doing it on the T side.
Yeah, especially on that CT side historically, a lot of highlight clips from him just peeking down mid. But as you were saying, he can definitely still perform on T side too. Let's see if he can indeed step up for his team. The pistol round would be a nice start for Eternal Fire to make sure they have that money for that AWP early on. They have the P250 dropped over to Xantares, and we've already seen what he can do with that gun today. Couple of nades for Savage too, as well as a kit in the hands of Twist. Eternal Fire happy to take some time early. I think they're just sending that P250 of Xantares up Banana, seeing if he can find a headshot early. But now that they haven't been given the fight, may just be Calix setting up these nades. Oh, the silencer off the USP for Grux. Gotta love this. Oh, not when it works like that though. There's the power of the P250.
Yeah, and the power of Xantares to open up the round. Now Twist under pressure. Does have his teammate out to his left side, and Twist will go down, and luckily Chalsey was available and kicking because he's come through with 3 kills, and he's got 4. Chalsey shutting down the B play, and it is all Calix now left alone. 11 rounds come in for Savage, and what a savage hold it was from Chalsey.
Chalsey looking real impressive with that point and click aim. Up to 18 kills. The AWPer of the team showing us that AWPers do generally do well in pistol rounds. He is definitely proving that rule to be true there. Such a solid hold around that smoke. Savage up to an 11-5 lead, and Eternal Fire have decided they are going to commit to the investment. They've got Tech 9s, they've got the Mac 10 in play. They'll probably be looking for some fast pace early, but they've lost their first fight.
Calix starting to walk his way up through the apartments with the Tech 9 on his back, and
the CTs have cleared Banana though.
oh, and that is going to allow that rotation to come back. Now Grux in position, drops down from the balcony, gets caught. Luckily has his teammate in behind him to back him up, and they will clear out most of the attack. A couple of kills that all on the way out from Calix, and that's about it. So 12-5, Savage will be 4 rounds away from taking Inferno. Any Eternal Fire fans, do not despair though. Dust 2 looms after this. And if needed, Overpass will be the decider, as indicated by the top right graphic. But Eternal Fire not winning that round. Not getting the bomb plant either, Hawker, means their buy is pretty bad coming into this one.
Yeah, definitely not ideal for them. They'll probably have to concede another, and can't really have many more rounds conceded when you're getting to this point in the game. 12-5 scoreline, likely to turn 13. Really solid team performance from Savage, which I think is important. Sure, Chalsey is top of the board off the back of a really nice start to this second half, but everyone is doing their bit. That's a good kill from Emor, though. The deke spam to the body could make this B site vulnerable here. Twist having to fight back, puts the smoke down, but they're going to run him down. There's a team kill in the mix, but access to the bomb site for Eternal Fire. Oh, it's a nice nade, though. Should still be a plant here.
The bomb plant at least confirms some extra money for Eternal Fire, but they should be going down pretty quickly here. Calix about to swing out in towards Banana, gets, oh, in CT, shall I say, gets caught, and 2 kills, the CT sweep it up. A lot of damage done there by Eternal Fire, dropping 3 players, nearly even a 4th down to Grux, and getting a bomb plant out of it. I don't think they're going to complain too much, considering the investment into the round. Eternal Fire will now look to the buy rounds. Maybe a potential weakness spotted there, Hawker, on the B site.
We'll wait and see. They got that early kill onto Banana, which was a big help for them. Getting up so quickly. They do have the AWP out for Woxic now, though, so I don't expect we'll see the same sort of pace. Probably around where they will be happy to slow things down slightly. See if Woxic can work some magic early with that AWP on the T side. Couple of nades exchanged on Banana. Not a massive commitment from either side, though. There's a nade stack in play from Savage there, and some aggression into the apartment. Xantares picked off early. Chalsey also gets another kill. Savage just picking Eternal of Fire to pieces at the start of the round.
Yeah, it's not been a good start at all here for Eternal Fire after positives of taking the bomb site in the previous and bringing it relatively close to weaker weapons. You were hoping for a better resurgence when it came to the rifles, but in the end it has been Savage coming back in with a convincing round so far. We'll see if it ends that way. Flash available for Twist to send his teammate out for the swing at Coffins. It's going to be Dezon peeking alongside of it. He goes forward. Ooh, gets away, actually. Twist shuts down his own teammate through the back of the skull. Luckily, it will be recovered. A nice clean round there for Savage. They didn't even really they didn't let Eternal Fire get a kill, put it that way. And 14 rounds locked in for the Swedes.
Just such a solid start to the round from Savage, taking some aggression into the apartments, having another player in that AWP posted up so aggressively alongside that aggression into the apartments itself, so that any response was quickly handled. And Eternal Fire have to try something, but the round was already slipped away from their fingers so early on. Very impressive stuff from Savage here. It is their map pick, but it's still a really positive sign for this squad going forwards. Well, there we go. Woxic's got an opener, as has Emor. Fighting on Banana, finally traded out. Eternal Fire this time, up on top of the early trades.
X-Floud taking damage, luckily stays alive. Otherwise, that would have been the advantage gone and back to the equilibrium we would have headed. And the teams start their walk up through middle. Only one A defender currently. Oh, this could be an absolute disaster for Savage. I don't think they've got the resistance here at all. And it's going to be Eternal Fire walking onto the A site. Crux isn't even picking this info up. Do you just save here if you're Savage, Hulk, or do you go for it?
Yeah, it's probably save time. Just don't even have anyone that near the site. I guess maybe if Grook's got a kill, that would be something to consider. It's just so hard to retake in towards A. I mean, look at the utility for Eternal Fire even. They have more smokes. They have more flashes, which they could use in the post-plant. So I think it is the right call to save for Savage, even if you are heavily in the lead. There we go. Something for Eternal Fire fans to smile about.
Around.
I guess they're also smiling from their earlier win, but talking about in this
Crazy
map.
thing is about this competition, though, is, you know, you can get a win, but there's no fallback. There's no plan you can get here. There's only one spot on the line available in the competition. There is that loser game happening right now in the lower bracket. That's Sinners versus Ecstatic. The two teams that were toppled by Eternal Fire and Savage. And that's getting underway in the lower bracket game. I believe we have Double Pony versus Sprout currently ongoing as well. Looks like Double Pony are taking that game relatively one-sidedly. 13-8 right now for them. And Spirit versus Force. 13-7 for Force. Spirit not having the best of times with this this current roster, Holka. I think 2022 is the year of Spirit, hopefully, if they can get that roster together.
It seems like a long-term rebuild. Here is the player standing in position so that Xantares can try and move up into the apartments without making noise. Shift the entire time. No one from Savage was close enough anyway, but nice way to get someone up early. And currently, Savage is stacked towards B, despite having that AWP peeking into Banana. So this could be a nice chance here for Eternal Fire, as there's only two players waiting for them on A.
Whoa, Crux trying to hold pit. Plesson has already found one in the defense as well. Two-man advantage already in play for Savage as Imora swings to the side. And it's still the advantage for Savage, but Grux is in a good position. Right now, here's the bomb being planted. Hasn't been given the opportunity, but now finally will. Grux on the double kill, and Moore is suddenly tossed into the 1 versus 4. He's found himself the first kill onto Grux, but there's 3 more deadly players, and they've got utility in for this retake. Savage starting to come in from all angles, and Moore is under so much pressure, being shot from all directions, and ends up going down. It's 15 locked in for the Savage side.
No real weak spot right now on the map. And this CT defense, this time it's Grux in towards Pit, who makes a big play from his position. Stepping up, playing around those angles wisely as that anchor. Eternal Fire not finding many ways in right now. Again, a reminder, if you have just joined us, you can see in the top left of your screen, this is a map pick of Savage. So not as bad as it may initially seem for Eternal Fire, who still have their map pick of Dust 2 coming up. But still, a really solid start here for the Swedes. Not really one of the teams I was looking at much for this qualifier, honestly, Dinko, but clearly I've been sleeping on Savage.
Oh yeah, I think everybody has. I think you've got to give them the respect that, and really be honest that no one had expectations for these guys, I'm sure, and this is a fantastic showing so far from them. Chauncey gets one, just couldn't get away. Moore hunted him down. I don't think we're going to be seeing any commitment anytime soon, though, for Eternal Fire, even with that kill, so just slowing it down again. They've got still over a minute to play with, and that bomb is back on the T-Stars, now recovered as they look back to A. Two players currently standing both bomb sites for Savage. The defense split into the 2-2 setup.
Where's Plesson's gun?
Well,
Oh,
in his hands now, Hawker. In his hands. All good.
Oh, good. All
Nothing
sorted.
to see here.
Nothing to worry about.
It's an A
Savage.
play from the T's here, Hawker, and that no problem. It's going to be an A play, surely. And one player still on Banana trying to cut off rotations back in towards the side of A, but here comes the explosion. Eternal Fire looking to try and close out a 7th round if possible. Calyx has got down into pit. Twist stands in front of him, and Santares has cracked open the head of Plessin, now splits into B, potentially from CT. This is really good from Eternal Fire. The B site is completely empty. Deson's focused on CT spawn, but in fact, the bomb is walking its way up to Banana just at the right time. If there was a player still inside of the site, Hawk, they could have been a real disaster nightmare there for Eternal Fire, but luckily, no one was there in defense.
Oh, Des unable to hit that shot. The way back in, though, is going to be a long one, as the rotate from Grux is just now coming into position. At least they have kits, but they'd have to overcome the AWP of Woxic, who's established on this angle. And that means with no frags given away by Eternal Fire, they can just win the round by sitting and holding position. It's a round that got a little scary for Eternal Fire, just because they were so spread out across the map. They had Calyx down into pit, they were trying to use him as a fake, but then I think they got a kill towards mid or A, so they thought maybe it is time to actually come back to this A side of the map. Just became a slightly awkward scenario there because they were so spread out. They needed to make that decision quickly. But eventually it is Eternal Fire who take another round. I don't think we can quite believe yet, Dinko. It's still going to have to be a fair few more rounds before we get excited about this comeback. I'm not counting them out entirely.
Yeah, we can't give the fans false hope. I mean, you look at Dust 2, that's certainly looking like the better opportunity for Eternal Fire than the comeback here at Inferno, but we're not going to count it out completely. Calyx has been fragging. It's a good pick for him. Chelsea down inside of the apartments. Lesson holds the angle at bottom boiler. Grux, is he really going to go for the aggressive play? Well, he's going to get caught because of it. Calyx watches down the apartment's hallway, and Plessin now having to come back to deal with him. Couple of shots rattled away, gives away the position of Plessin, and Calyx with his 3rd kill has secured a round already for Eternal Fire. And no resistance in this round from Savage as Calyx just forcibly removes them.
And these are the sorts of rounds I think you need if you're going to be having a comeback like this. If you just have a couple of rounds that don't even feel like hard work because one of your individuals just steps up and wins the round by himself, that can make a big difference. And the other thing that can make a big difference is damaging that CT economy. See if Eternal Fire want to commit heavily, because even though they don't have much money themselves, they obviously don't have to be as concerned about their economy, considering they're 15-7 down. So removing these guns could make a nice bit of difference. Isn't able to catch the first man. Oh, the molly and the nade make life awkward. Cloud crosses. He wants this kill. He's not going to find it, though. It looks like the CTs will be safe. Dezon on a single point of health. Just about saves.
Money's not great here at all for the CTs, so maybe a couple of upgraded pistols around the save weapons could certainly come through, or just go for the full investment, as you can drop some weapons over, have one player playing that deagle, and that's exactly what will happen. We'll see what Savage can pull out here. It could be the win on this buy. If not, Eternal Fire are destined to pick up a few more and keep this Inferno game alive for a bit longer. Molotov in towards X-Floud. Oh, the nades coming in as well. Oh, X-Floud's not having a great time. If there was a second nade available, he would be dead. Often you see the double nade stack in towards logs, but he gets away a little bit lucky there, in fact, Hawker, that he's not dead yet.
Down low on health, but still alive.
Ooh.
Still with a chance
Went
to
a
have
little bit for the
impact.
flash.
Works out, though. Slow banana control for Eternal Fire. Quite a few players here in position, but Savage is still staying sticky with all this utility deployed into banana. They've got a third player here too. Another flash in. Dezon looking for that frag, but Eternal Fire never gave it to him.
Yeah, these flashes pretty ineffective from Savage on the re-aggressive plays. And here comes the execute from Eternal Fire right in. X-Floud gets one pick, the second as well. From 4 kills to 6. Starting to finally light up a bit here. Great round for him. Woxic takes Chawsey down. And the life is kicking in for Eternal Fire. Oh, Crux. Just the deagle. Literally the worst weapon in play to save here. Did you say that they're trying to breathe some fire, some Eternal Fire back into this game, Hawka? Into this Inferno?
You could say that, Dinko. You could say that.
I did.
You did. Yeah. You proved that you could say it by saying it. Well done.
Thank you, Hawka. That's the support I need.
Yeah. This is starting to get into a position where you are getting a little concerned now. If you're a Savage fan, you obviously have to eco in this one. And Eternal Fire are doing the things right, I think. For example, in that round, I like how reserved they almost play on Banana, just kind of realizing flashes might come eventually, so you sit back, you don't get blinded, and you wait for that peak, and eventually you get that early pick that you were looking for. 5 USPs would be a special way to win a map. Stacked into top mid, but I'm not sure it's going to matter. Yeah, Eternal Fire is starting to use some nades on B, and if they do commit to this, they'll realize it is completely clear.
Woo! Santara's lovely 3k eventually gets overrun just by the sheer numbers running at his position. But Calyx will be there close by to take down the rest. 10 rounds now for Eternal Fire. They really are starting to do this, and if they win this round, they are set for this comeback. It is now the bye again. The problem is when you're making a big comeback like this, the amount of rounds you have to win, the likelihood of one round going in favor of your opponents is so highly likely in a game like Counter-Strike, where so many mistakes, just one little mistake can cost you the entire round. So this certainly is still difficult. 5 rounds in a row still needed from this point onwards. And Savage have a bye again. Utility out in play.
You've got to be laser focused to make sure you don't let any of these rounds slip. Eternal Fire might be in the zone right now. Calyx looking to clear out apps early. Doesn't have a flash for this angle. So we'll wait for a second player to join him so that they can clear these apartments' positions together. Savage earlier were finding some success with some of their aggressive setups in towards apps even. And in this round, they've decided to sit back pretty passively across the board. Crux is going to spot that smoke. He'll realize it might be the A play.
Oh, and while Crux and Plessing getting 2 for the defense, it is the advantage in for Savage, who look to try and close it and twist in with a double. Certainly that is looking like the final blow here. It is all on Woxic, and he is hunted down. Plessing in with a pick, Woxic down, and it is Savage.